All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So today I've been going deep on Conor McGregor, Khabib, Dustin, Ferguson, Gaethje, right? This is like, that's what I've been talking about today. I already just did 2 videos, one of them about who Conor fights next, another one about how Conor ends up with the next title shot, given the lay of the land with those other 4 fighting each other, probably on the same night, UFC 254. But this particular video, I'm going to talk about Khabib, and I'm going to talk about how, in my opinion, if Khabib wins this fight against Gaethje, he's the greatest of all time. And I mean, like, definitively. And if you've ever listened to me, you're going to... Listen, like, I have... That's obviously a conversation that you can't help but have if you're doing this type of channel. And I've said probably GSP, right? I've been like, probably GSP, right? I'm going to say right now that if Khabib beats Gaethje, I'm going to definitively... at least in terms of my opinion, say Khabib is the greatest fighter of all time. And I'll give you all of those reasons right now. And I'm going to take Jesse on Fire off and have a more serious video here because there's serious factors that play into this particular thing. So if you enjoy the channel, subscribe, ring the bell. If this is the first time that you're seeing my channel, you can expect absolutely top quality mixed martial arts analysis, okay? Stuff you will not see other places. I'm going to prove that to you right now, okay? So... let's talk about it. So Khabib right now, if he retired, would have a very good claim at greatest of all time. Because what does greatest of all time actually mean, right? What does it mean? It's not a measurable thing in terms of stats or data or even championships. It's something that it's an opinion that collective audiences make, right? So Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, like that's not based on him being the greatest boxer of all time and saying that in his prime, there's no heavyweight boxer that would have been able to beat him, because that's not true, okay? What it means is that when you take the collective of his career and future generations look back, or the generations that lived through it, they say he's the greatest, and they believe it. So like, and honestly, that's it. Like, I don't even need to go through the fights or what led to that. It's the collective opinion of the people who have watched. And here's the deal with Khabib, okay? He's 28-0. Okay, 28-0. 28-0. There's no decisions that people think should have gone the other way. I've heard people say that they think that there's one that I won't even mention because I don't agree. But he's basically never lost a round, okay? The one round that he lost on paper to Conor was him taking a round off, you know? Like, if you actually watch that fight and you know the strategy that Khabib had going in was take him down, make him tired, right? So he goes first round, takes him down, makes him tired, comes out in the second round, and second round is go full throttle, and he pulverizes Conor in the second round. But he expends a lot of energy himself, right? And so in between second and third round, after almost finishing him in the second round, he goes... I'm going to let Conor run around a little bit this round. I'm going to take this round off. I'm going to recover. And he knows the 4th and 5th round, championship rounds, not Conor's strong suit, right? Conor has never shown in a 4th round, incredible cardio. Now, he hasn't been in very many 4th rounds, but in the ones that he has been in, not a great showing in terms of his cardio, right? So Khabib makes a calculated decision and says, I'm going to let him run around and I'll take this round off. I mean, I don't think he intended on losing the round, but he definitely took the round off because guess what? In the 4th round, he immediately took Conor down and smashed him, right? So that's a strategy. So you look at his career and that's his one lost round and he barely even got touched throughout that round. I mean, listen, like, this is a person who's so dominant that he does not have anyone that's even in the conversation, right? Like, no one even in the conversation with him. And going into this Gaethje fight, consider his actual situation, which is this, right? Now, before I even talk about that, what I've always said, the reason why Mixed Molly and I connected on, and by the way, people who might be coming to this new, like where I advertise or something, if you do not watch Mixed Molly Wapari's channel and you're a mixed martial arts fan, you need to get on that, man. But the reason why Mixed Molly Wapari and I share, so much in common and see the game the same is because for us, it's all about the people and it's about the narratives that live behind the fights. And the fights are like this this like, what do you call it? The what's it called? The application where you learn how to speak another language. Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. Whatever, but like it's like a language translator for the things behind that led to the fight. Did you train hard enough? Who did you train with? What are you built out of? Like, what kind of person are you? Have you made the right choices? Like there's just all of those things. The story of your life then gets translated in the octagon against another man. You find out which of you is the better man, right? And right now, I don't think there's anybody who's had a stronger relationship with their coach and their father that I've ever seen than Khabib. And Khabib lost his father 4th of July weekend. Okay, so basically you're talking 3 months from when this fight is going to happen. So like lost his father and then immediately was in training camp and is going into the toughest fight of his entire career. Justin Gaethje is the hardest matchup he's ever had because the guy is going to use tremendous takedown defense that Khabib's never seen. Khabib's never faced someone with better takedown defense ever than Justin Gaethje, without a doubt. Absolutely without a doubt. And if he's stuck on the feet with him, Gaethje is a superior striker for sure. So you look at that and go, wow, this is a terrible, terrible matchup for Khabib. And people are starting to catch up on that. Now, I've been saying that since February, since before Gaethje beat Ferguson. So this is not like a new opinion that I've had listening to other analysts. And I can prove that to you guys if you guys need proof, because it's on my TikTok from February when I first started. I said Gaethje's the one guy that can beat Khabib. And so even if this whole thing with his dad wasn't going on, I was saying that I believed that Gaethje is actually the favorite in that fight, right? So you take that into consideration, the fact that in all actuality, Gaethje could very easily or should be considered the favorite in this fight. And then you factor in that he lost his father and he's devastated. You look at him in these interviews, he is hurting, man. He's grieving. He's in deep, deep, deep pain. Like really, really deep pain. If he wins this fight through that, he's the greatest of all time. Think about it as a person. Put yourself in his position. Like, I don't know if you're close to your father or not. I'm close with mine. If my dad wasn't my coach, like I haven't lived every single avenue of my life with my father like Khabib did. His goals weren't my goals. We didn't have a journey that we were on together like Khabib and his father. And he died, man. Like, he's gone. He's gone. Like, he died. Fucking gone. Like, there's no... I mean, it's going to have been 3 months when he fights. And training for this fight, that is the journey that he was on with his father. Try to imagine that. I'm serious. I'm being 100%. Try to imagine that. Imagine how much that hurts, man. Like, if your father died, you're going to be grieving on a deep level anyway. His father died, and it's in his like he's got different people telling him how to adjust, right? The absence of his father is just directly in his face 100% of the time in preparation for the hardest opponent he's ever faced. If he wins, I don't want to hear anything. It'll be, not only will it be the most meaningful victory of any fighter, it'll make him the greatest of all time. And listen, like, there are fights recently where like guys, they like, I remember what's his name, his brother died like a few days before that, and he went out and he got the W. Or Walt Harris with his daughter, but it's not the same. Like, this is like he has to go through, and I mean, this is like the ultimate test, man. Like this, you can't test a person more than this, and this is exactly what I'm talking about with the fight. Like, why mixed martial arts is the greatest sport ever is because of this. If you're not rooting for Khabib in this fight, then you do not understand this sport at all. And I love Gaethje. I would love to see. I've been predicting that Gaethje was going to win prior to that forever. If you don't root for Khabib, then you don't view the sport the same way that I do, right? So what did I say? Rosetta Stone. The octagon is a Rosetta Stone of a person's life, right? So you think about that. Think about that, okay? And if you consider each fight to be a test of a man, or female, whatever, but like, of a man in this case, he lost the person that's closest to him, and then immediately has to train for the hardest fight of his entire career, and he's going to get into that octagon. It's the ultimate test. The ultimate test. He could never, I guarantee you, when he looks back on his life, looks back on his career, he'll be grateful for this. He'll be great because he's that type of person that he does view the sport the way that I do, like where he'll never be grateful that he lost his father, obviously. But when he's 70 years old, right, and he looks back at the timing, if he wins this fight, he'll be grateful for the timing, because there is no better, bigger test that you could put on a person than this. So I really hope he wins, but he'll be the greatest of all time if he does. It'll be the most meaningful victory ever. So I'm gonna just cut this off before I start crying on camera. So that's what I got. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.